You guys want to see some fun stuff now? Alright, let me show you some cool stuff. So what I want to do now is I'm actually going to describe and talk about a little bit about the equipment that you're seeing here today. Okay? So the two wheelchairs that my friends are in, right, that Jake and Double D are in, is a little bit different than the wheelchair that I'm sitting in. The wheelchair that I'm sitting in is what we call an everyday chair. We call this an everyday chair because I use it for everyday life. When I'm pushing around my house, when I'm pushing around the grocery store, Six Flags, my university, yes, we all like Six Flags, don't we? Yeah. Okay. And now the wheelchair that my athletes are in are what we call a sports chair. And they specifically only use this chair when they're playing sports. So we want to show you some of those differences. The first difference is right down by their feet. They all have a big front bar down there. Okay? The reason they have a front bar down by their feet is because in sports, there's a lot of physical contact, and something like this might happen every once in a while. Okay? So that front bar is there to be able to protect your feet. Now, if one of these guys actually came in and ran into me, okay, we're not going to show this part, but they would have an opportunity to break my toe or break my ankle, so you're going to have to trust me on that part. Now if you look really close, I want everybody to look really close at the big wheels on the sports chairs. Okay? They angle out a little bit. Right? That's simply called camber. And what that allows our athletes to do is what we call spin on a dime. Okay? We want our athletes to be able to spin on a dime so they can get up and down the basketball court as fast as they possibly can. But most importantly, that helps them be as athletic as they possibly can. Now on my big wheels, my big wheels, they angle out a little bit, okay? But not nearly as much as the ones on the sports chairs. And the reason for that is I want to stay as small and compact as I possibly can. I want to be able to get through a doorway. If I'm pushing up and down the hallway, I don't want to be 8, 10, 12, 14 feet wide, so I have to trip over you, or more importantly, you have to worry about tripping over me. Again, I want to stay as small and compact as I possibly can. On the back end of their chairs, they each got a couple pairs of wheels, right? What those wheels back there allow them to do is lean really far back, and it's going to help them prevent from falling over backwards. One of the reasons they might need to lean over backwards, or to lean backwards, is to catch a basketball, try to block somebody's shot, okay, try to make a deep pass, and those wheels are going to help them stay upright in their chairs. Now on the back end of my chair, all nice and wide open. Okay, there are no wheels back there. What that simply allows me to do is something called a wheelie. A wheelie, yes. Okay? One of the reasons that I might need to be able to do a wheelie is when we're going to the park that we all like to do, sometimes that grass can become really soft. Well, when the grass is really soft, that's going to cause my front end to dig into the ground, okay, and cause me to fall forward. Well, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to do a wheelie and push through the grass or the snow. Same thing with the snow. Another reason, okay, that I might need to be able to do a wheelie is if I'm pushing on a sidewalk and there's not a curb cut. Does everybody know what a curb cut is? Okay? If there's not a curb cut, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a wheelie and jump down or hop up a curb. Right? If I'm at the mall and the elevator's all the way on the other side of the building, I'm going to go find myself an escalator and hold on to the railings by doing a wheelie and ride up and ride down a set of escalators. Okay? I like to get about halfway up and scream and scare as many old people as I possibly can. Right? And then the last difference is all of our athletes actually strap in. So when you guys are in Viet class, I'm sure your teacher tells you all the time to make sure your gym shoes are nice and tight. Well, we want our athletes to be nice and tight with their chairs. So when they move, their entire chair moves. They're actually able to move their chairs without touching their wheels at all, just by using their hips, because they're nice and tight with their chairs. Another reason that they might need to be able to strap in, as you saw before, every once in a while you're going to make some contact. Well, if you get hit the right way, something like this might happen. Okay, so my good friend Double D just got knocked over to the ground. Well, if he wasn't strapped in, his wheelchair would be all the way back there against that wall. And as his coach, I'm not real happy with him right now. Right? He's just laying there being lazy. Right? He can't do anything for us. Well, with him, he can't play no defense. And most importantly, the game never stops just because you fall over to the ground. Right? So if he can't get back up, we have to play a player short. So what he's going to do is he's going to do what we call a big push-up, find his balance point, push himself back up, and now he's back up and playing basketball again. So that is how 98% of the world get back up after you. I'll answer your question in 1 second. Okay? That's how about 98% of the world get back up after you fall down. Well, my friend Double D is from Jackson, Mississippi. He does things a little bit different than everybody else. Okay? So he's going to get up in a special way. But in order for him to be able to do so, he likes to hear his name chanted. So on a count of 3, we're going to chant Double D. Okay? 1, 2, 3. Show you guys real quick, and then I'm going to turn it over to you guys. So everybody wants to know, do you have to dribble in wheelchair basketball? Raise your hand if you think you have to dribble in wheelchair basketball. For those of you that have your hands up right now, you are correct. You do have to dribble in wheelchair basketball. Who can tell me how many steps you get in stand-up basketball? Go ahead, yell it out. 3. Good guess. 2. You get 2 steps. Okay? How many pushes do you think you get in wheelchair basketball? 2. Right? So my good friend Jake here is going to show you how you can dribble. So a lot of beginners is going to put the ball in their lap, take 1 push, 2 push, and then he's going to dribble the basketball, put it back on his lap, take another couple of pushes, and dribble the basketball again. There is no double dribble in wheelchair basketball. Okay? And that's how a lot of beginners go ahead and start, learn how to dribble is by putting the ball in their lap. We teach our athletes to be a little more advanced and a little more athletic. So Jake's never going to put the ball in his lap. He's going to keep the ball out in front of him the entire time. He's going to be able to change directions, cross over hands, put the ball behind his back. Okay? And that way, the defense isn't able to steal the ball. He always has control of the basketball that way. Okay? So. What I'd like to do now real quick is actually turn it over to you guys to see if there's a few questions that we can answer for you, right? You can ask us anything that you might ever wanted to know, okay? About our program, about our everyday life, about our equipment, about our team, anything that you guys might want to know. Here's a great opportunity. I saw your hand go up first in the white. Yes?
Do you play like nationally or do you wear uniforms?
Great question. Do we play nationally and do we wear uniforms? So we do play. We play all over the country, right? We'll travel to Illinois, to Pennsylvania, to Texas, to Missouri, to Arizona, all over the country. Some of us have been lucky enough to travel all over the world. I've been to Australia 3 times. Canada, if you want to call Canada a different country, right? And we do wear uniforms when we play, okay? We do wear uniforms. Yes? Yes?
What's whitewater like?
What is whitewater like? Ooh, that's a good question. Whitewater is a small city with a great atmosphere and a wonderful community.
Because my brother's going there next year.
Your brother's going there next year, he's going to have a great time. Tell him to come find me, I'll send it, I'll come up. All right, tell him to come find me. Yes, right there on the green. Where do you get a wheelchair?
Isn't there like places where you can play even if you don't have a disability?
Great question. Is there a place that you can play without a disability? Yes and no. Okay? In the high school level, you have to have a physical disability in order to play, as of right now. Okay? In the college level, anybody that wants to play wheelchair basketball can come and play wheelchair basketball. So at my university, okay, if you're a student at my university and you want to play wheelchair basketball, you can come and try out for the team. Okay, good question. Right there in the white. Yes.
If it's like raining out and it's is it raining out? Do you guys play outside or inside?
Great question. If it's bad weather outside, we always try to play inside in a gym similar to like this, except we play on a couch floor, so it's a little bit bigger and like a longer three-point line and things like that. So we play all of our games inside. Straight up there in the back.
If there are fouls in wheelchair basketball, what is it?
Yeah, are there fouls in wheelchair basketball? Yes, there are. Yes, there are. Okay. You're not allowed to slap anybody in the face. Okay. And the chair is considered part of the body. So when you saw Jake and Double D run into each other before, that would be considered a foul. So basically, you can make chair contact as long as you don't change their direction. Okay. Otherwise, you can't hit the hand or anything similar to that. Okay. Yes. Yep, if somebody has the ball in the lap and you want to take it from them, go ahead and do it. Yep, you can go ahead and steal it and take it right away from them, and that's completely fine. Okay? Yes?
Are there shooting fouls? If so, are there free throws?
Are there shooting fouls, and if so, are there free throws? Yes and yes. Right? So, our guys are shooting, we make our guys shoot free throws every practice. We try to be an 80% free throw shooting team or better as a team. And, you know, we're pretty good at that. I think this year we're about 84% as a team. So we did pretty well from the strike. A couple more questions. Yes, right there on the right.
Is there a jump ball at the beginning?
Yep, there is a jump ball. So if I bring Jake and my friend Double D here to the center part of the court, okay, what you'll do is you'll line up side to side, okay, and the referee will throw the ball up, straight up in the air. Doors are short. Okay, and then you'll just nip it to your own teammate. Okay, yes, good question. Right here in the red.
What if you get like hurt and you don't have anything to fix them?
Like my chair, or what? My chair breaks or something?
Like, no, if you like fall off your chair and get hurt.
If I fall off my chair and get hurt, then that's where we have like a trainer that's with us during our games and stuff like that. Otherwise, I just have to pick myself back up and continue to go on. Okay, good question. All right, two more. Right here in the orange.
How do you swim?
How do we swim? How many of you think we swim in our wheelchairs? Go ahead and raise your hand if you think we swim in our wheelchairs. Okay? For all of you that have your hands up right now, we would drown. Okay? We would drown if we were in our wheelchairs and we swam. So we actually will take our chairs to the edge of the pool or to the edge of the dock, get out of our chairs, and then we just use our arms to go ahead and swim. Okay? Good question. One more. Let's go right here.
How do you use the bat?
Yep. Yep, you know.
If you have like the ball like right here, are you allowed to like knock it out?
Yep, anytime you have the ball in your possession, you can knock it out at any point. Okay, you can knock it out at any point. Okay, good question. All right, we'll take one more. We'll go right here with my man in the red.
How do you guys work out in your gym?
Very good question. How do we work out in our gym? Okay, so our weight room looks like any other weight room that you might see. Okay, and we have all of our athletes get out of their chairs. They'll go onto a bench machine and use the bench or triceps or any different types of machines that they want to use, and then they just go ahead and look like anybody else. The only thing that we don't do is squats. Okay, that's more for the adults, right? But we don't do many squats. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to come by and answer more questions, but we want to get as much of you an opportunity to come and play.